and welcome back to the Dark Archives. My name is April,
And I'm Brooke.
and we are your hosts. So, for today's episode, we're going to be talking about some Christmas stories that aren't so jolly. And also, I'm going to be talking about the TikTok inmate hopper, aka Ashley Trevino, which I'm kind of excited for because Brooke doesn't really know about Ashley. So, I'm excited to get her reaction and opinions on some things regarding that. So, we'll go ahead and get into the Christmas stories. Brooke, do you want to go ahead and go?
So, I'm going to start it off strong with a Christmas theme. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for opening a fake gift during a family Christmas party? Every year, my family does Christmas at my mom's, and she insists that we all open presents together, even if it's gifts between spouses, etc. It's normally an okay tradition, but sometimes it can spark jealousy or comparisons between families. This year, my husband saved up and bought me my dream designer handbag for Christmas. I know some people aren't into that, but it's something that I truly love. We're not well off, but we're not doing poorly either. But I knew that this handbag must have cost a lot. It was going to cause a lot of discussion amongst my siblings and parents. I walked into this knowing that. I just didn't want their opinions and criticisms to ruin a special gift my husband worked so hard to get for me. So this year, my husband got me an extra gift that wasn't the real gift. It was moderately priced skincare. Christmas came and went without drama, but I recently posted a picture of my husband and our kids at dinner, and my handbag could be seen hanging off the back of my chair. One of my friends commented underneath the post about how gorgeous my Christmas gift was as well, talking about the handbag. Long story short, word got back to my family and they totally blew up. Some were annoyed that I opened a private gift separately from the family, and others were criticizing the price of the gift. My siblings are now calling me disingenuous for harboring a secret gift, and they all said that I did it because they all said I did it because I think I'm better than them. That is crazy. I didn't open it with them because I didn't want their opinions, but now I'm starting to feel like the a-hole for keeping it a secret. I knew either way they'd all criticize me though, since it was so much more expensive than all the other gifts. So I don't know whether I'm in the right or I'm in the wrong. Am I the a-hole?
I don't think she's in the wrong because, if anything, I feel like she was thinking about the family more than herself, even though it's her Christmas present and her husband worked hard, saved up to get her something that she really likes. Um, and it's not like they didn't come, it's not like they opened all the gifts beforehand. Like, I feel like if anything, she was just trying to do what she thought was best. And she still opened a Christmas present, like, with them, and like, she kind of proved, or her family proved, that what she was thinking was right, So I don't blame her for that. And them criticizing her about, like, opening the gift, like, at a separate time. In a way, like, do I agree with that? No, like, I wouldn't really care, but, like, I understand why they would get upset based off their traditions. But regarding the price of the bag, I feel like that's really none of their business. Like, if they can afford it, they can afford it, and if you know, so I don't think she's a hole.
I don't either. And I also think it's like crazy that your family would, first of all, have everyone open gifts and then judge you for it. Um, Nor she felt like she had to buy like an extra gift. Is wow. She should have just opened the real gift in front of them and then let them judge her, to be honest. But yeah, not the a-hole. That's weird. Like if your family is judging you that hard, I don't know if I'd be coming to Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I get, like, 'cause I'm not gonna lie. So my mom says that there's such thing as, like, good jealousy, because if I see something that someone got and I wanted it too. Like, I'm happy for them, but I'm like, "Damn, I kinda want that," or like, "Damn, I wish I could be able to afford that," or "I wish I," you know what I mean? So, would I want it too? Yes, but I'm also happy for them. Like, for example, like, my cousin, I think I told you how her fiancé got her, like, a Dior advent
Mhm.
calendar,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Low key, maybe I could get, like, a small version of it for my mom." And once I saw the prices, I'm like, "Oh." So, again, it's not like I'm like, I obviously, I'm like, "Damn, like, I kinda want that." But I'm not gonna be like, "Wow, like, why is he wasting money on that?" Like,
Mhm.
if he
Or
can, then
pet.
great. Yeah, like, if anything, I've been asking her, well, whenever we get to talk, I'm like, "So, what you, like, open
Mhm.
today?" Because I don't know, like, I wanna know.
That's like the kind of advent calendar you, like, make content off of.
Yeah, yeah. I ended up being, like, impatient because sometimes she'd be like, "Oh, I haven't opened it yet." So, I
Girl,
went on
open it.
I know, I was like so I went on TikTok, and there's people who literally just, like, buy those advent calendars. Either they're sent to them if they have, like, a big following, or
Mhm.
they buy them and, they open all of them, like, in that video. So, since I didn't have it, I was just like, "I'm not gonna spoil anything for myself." So, yeah, I don't know. I did do that. I obviously, I'm not telling her, like, what's in what, but yeah.
It'd be so messed up if you did, though.
Oh, yeah, she was like, don't spoil it." I'm like, "Girl, I'm not. All I'm saying is that there's, like, good stuff in there. Obviously, it's Dior, you know, but."
That's like this family's level of petty. I just can't get over, like, the detective, like, obviously, having your family, like, look at your social media posts and, like, looking that closely to see a new handbag that, like, they must know every handbag that she owns because,
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy and creepy, personal opinion. I think the family might be the a-hole here.
yeah, I agree. I wish you would've mentioned what handbag
I
she got.
agree. There's no comments or updates, but, um, it must have been highly expensive to make people that upset.
But again, like, what are they upset about? Like, that's the crazy part for me.
I think it's what you said. I think they're just jealous that, like, she has an item that cost a lot more than, like, the gifts that the other part of the family were able to afford, which is kind of, like, crazy because if your husband buys you something, that's, like, between you and your husband. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
if you, like, open it in front of other people. It's like, they didn't buy it, so I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand it either.
So, my answer is she's not the a-hole. That's how.
And I agree. I agree.
So mine is a little bit long. So it's not a am I the a-hole, it's just like this, I'm guessing is a girl, was really upset. So, yeah. So one time my family forgot to get me anything for Christmas. A, I know, me, right? And B, I was like, I think maybe 20 at the time. I'm not looking for pity. Still, like, it's messed up. I was home for the holidays. I had been on my own, an example, living in an unbelievably apartment one town away since I was 17, and due to
Mhm.
familial, is that a word?
Mhm.
Okay. However, I didn't see them much. But so I was there. Me, my brother, my sister, and her boyfriend who was living there. My mom collected strays. And my mother and stepdad. Christmas morning, they abbreviated it. Christmas morning, tree trimmed, stocking hung, the whole nine. Tradition dictated we each took turns receiving a gift. Starting with the youngest, my sister. She gets a present, her boyfriend gets a present, my brother does. My turn comes around, my mom loots around another under the tree but can't find anything. My siblings joke how I didn't get anything because I've been a bad little boy. So it's a guy. My mom admits
Mhm.
that there's less under there for me, but it's because I'm not around and they don't know what I need. I tell her that it's fine to skip me that round. She gets a present, my stepdad gets one, back to my sister, back up the roster to me, nothing. My mom and stepdad start having fur- furtive conversations along the lines of, "Did you? I mean, I thought we must have." I say it's fine. My mom insists that I'm absolutely going to flip when I do, in fact, see the one thing she swears must be, wait, I say it's fine. Side note, his writing is kind of confusing. It's very much like, I don't know. So, yeah. 10 torturous minutes later, five people have small piles of loot they have silently accepted and placed down, unwrapped in front of them. My mom is almost invisible behind the tree. My stepfather is rooting around under the couch and behind the china cabinet. I'm sitting there my willing my own grown self to not cry. My mom lets out a whoop of triumph, brandishing a label-less cat mauled package. She tells me that she's so sorry, shopping was an absolute nightmare, and that they owe me the one big thing they must have forgotten. But in the meantime, I let the claw marked wrappings half fall away inside a really nice pair of wool socks with the name Brian sewn into the socks. Brian is the name of my sister's boyfriend. I went upstairs to use the bathroom. After that, I lay on my brother's bed for a while. At some point, my mother came up and said it was just a dumb accident and it wasn't like they'd done it on purpose, and that I would just come downstairs, stop acting like a baby for God's sake. I did and showed my brother how to get the battery into the MP3 player and went home, got high, and watched Die Hard. That was the second, third worst Christmas I've ever had. Dang.
So, a few things. If this is tradition, they traditionally get you a present.
Mhm.
So, people aren't perfect. Maybe mom just forgot. Maybe, dad just forgot. Our parents get old and they forget things. And you're 20 years old. Like, I get it. Um, you still are at the age where, like I still get gifts from my parents. Like, you still are the age where, like, you want to give and receive gifts, but at the same time, it's kind of like your parents may be older and maybe they forgot. It's not the
Mhm.
end of the world kind of thing. I think maybe them getting upset at you, I understand that because that's what my parents do when I get upset. They also get upset at me.
Yeah.
I think it's just some sort of like response. So yeah, I'm not saying like you shouldn't have cried about it. Like definitely cry about it. That's awful. But also I don't think it was intentional based off of the information provided. Yeah.
So I know you said like once parents start getting old. Um he did mention he was like he said that he was maybe 20 at the time.
Mhm.
And I mean, parents can have babies like at different age ranges, but like I don't know. And the fact that they literally got socks with the sister's boyfriend like name sewn into socks.
Yeah.
Like that's not just like and her saying like Christmas shopping was a nightmare. Like I get it, but it's not like a, "Oh, let me just grab these, like, fuzzy socks last minute." Like, it's
Mhm.
socks that were, like, um, what's it called?
Like they took time to embroider, like you had to obviously order that.
Yeah, and, like, they were personalized.
Maybe
Um,
she just likes the boyfriend better than
I
that's awful.
guess,
That's a good
but
point. It's a good point.
yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I understand that since the son isn't living there and everybody else in that, um, during, like, the Christmas thing was. But still, I don't know, I feel like it's kinda hard for you to forget your own child.
It could be worse. Um, I'm gonna call her my sister-in-law. She's we're almost there.
Mhm.
But, her parents like, know she has a favorite color, and there was one year where she asked for, like, a set of pots in her favorite color, and it was, like, a whole huge set, like, 40-piece set, and her parents got it in, like, the color that they liked and not the color that she liked, and I honestly think, like, that's worse, but irrelevant. I just think that parents can be crappy sometimes
Yeah.
during that time of year, and, like, in my family, it's kind of a tradition, even if we don't like people, we still have to buy them something, and it's really important, like, we write down a list of everyone's names and then, like, what they get, so, like, my mom doesn't forget,
Mhm.
and, as I get older, the more we just, like, we complain more and more about it, and I'm just like, "Well, why are we doing this?" Why are we buying these things if we just don't wanna trade gifts anymore? Um, but it's just like a thing, it's like a die-hard thing where we have to get everyone a gift no matter how crappy they are.
Yeah. I also think the part that bothers me the most about this story is how obviously, like, it doesn't really matter how old you get. If you feel
Mhm.
like you were forgotten by your parents, I'm sure it hurts.
Oh, yeah.
So, even though this man is like 20 and it's just like a present, right? I totally understand why he would be like upset. And if he wants to like let it out, especially after saying that he had been living in like a really like kind of crappy apartment,
Mhm.
like being back with his family, I'm sure it probably meant a lot to him. Like, and that happened. I understand why he would be really upset and maybe want to cry. But
Mhm.
when the mom came in saying like, pull it together, like, don't cry, like
Oh, yeah, I would've cried
that,
harder. Yeah.
yeah, I probably would have left. I don't know. I wouldn't have felt welcome in at that point. So I would have been like, "You know what? Okay, bye."
It
And
also,
that's it.
like, bothers me that they said, "Well, you're older, like, we don't know what you need anymore." Like, the point of Christmas is to give someone something, it doesn't matter if they, like, need it or not. And
Mhm.
also, like, if you used your brain, you could pull together some things that, like, people need, period, and put it in a basket, and that's good enough. Like, I don't understand why they were saying that, but I do think it's weird if they meant to, why they would be having the half conversations like, "Oh, we forgot," and then, like, looking around. Um, it's weird. Yeah, the whole thing's weird,
Yeah. That's well, I mean,
confusing.
that's actually a really good point because I mean, it mentions how he has been living in a crappy apartment. I'm sure you can get him a microwave
Yeah,
or furniture, some pots and pans.
gift
Um,
card.
get literally like Amazon or like gift cards for him to get some necessities, you know?
I I'm okay. So, growing up, I lived in a really poor area, and, um, one year, my parents we had, like, a local skating rink, and every Saturday, that's where the kids were, and I love the skating rink, like, it was gross and old, but it was somewhere to hang out for teens, and so, like, I had a birthday party there, and, some of my friends who showed up, they gave me homemade gifts, you know? And, like, that is honestly such a core memory, like, it was like a block of wood with, like, a hole carved in it, and it was like, "Oh, it's a candle holder," and I was just
Yeah.
so happy just to have, like, something,
Mhm.
that it just makes me sad that they couldn't get him something, make him something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
So, I know this is not like a am I the a-hole, but if it I'll give it a title if it were to be one. It'd be like, am I the a-hole for like overreacting and whatnot? Number one, I don't think he is. Number two, I think the
Mm-mm.
parents are.
Mhm.
So, not for forgetting if they forgot, but for how they,
Mhm.
reacted after he felt what he felt. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. Way to ruin the Christmas spirit. Parents are We love them and we hate them.
Yeah.
Okay. We have a would I be the a-hole for not wanting to participate in my family's quote one gift swap Christmas idea. Trigger warning. Controlling behavior, PTSD, and favoritism. So last night, I, male 22, went with my mom to visit my brother, Leaf. That's a cool name. 27, male, at his apartment. My older brother, Dax, 24, male, was also there. We were hanging out, eating, and just catching up since it's rare that we all are free at the same time. Christmas is going to be weird this year because for the first time, we're not all spending it together. Dax is spending the holiday with his in laws, wife, and kids, and Leaf is doing the same. I'll be with my mom, stepdad, my partner, and my grandmother. We're planning to get together sometime after Christmas so we can all see each other, but it's not the same. I mean, that's okay. We all grow up. Anyway, while we were talking, Dax brought up an idea he's really excited about. He wants us all to spend $50 on a single gift, wrap it in neutral wrapping paper, and then do a gift swap. The way it works is the first person picks a gift, and each person after can either pick a new gift or steal and open one. At the end, the first person gets one last chance to swap with anyone if they want. The thing is, I really don't want to do this. To me, Christmas isn't about receiving gifts, it's about giving them. I love spending time picking out something thoughtful for each person, something I think will genuinely make them happy. Seeing their reactions means a lot to me. The one gift swap thing just feels too impersonal and honestly just kind of corporate. And before anyone asks, no, my brother isn't tight on money. He's actually pretty well off with more than me, but that's not the point. So, would I be the a hole if I told my brother I'd rather not participate in his gift swap idea? I'd love to give everyone personal gifts, but I just don't want to do this impersonal gift exchange thing. It doesn't feel right to me. Okay, I'm going to read the edit. Everyone in my family is pretty well off, including all of Dax's in laws, Leaf and his in laws, etc. Leaf and his wife aren't really into the idea of doing White Elephant this year, and neither are my mom or stepdad. We all know how complicated Christmas gets as the family grows, and honestly, we prefer to do Secret Santa instead. Also, just for context, Dax's mother in law is outright refusing to participate in White Elephant, is insisting on getting an expensive gift instead. If she doesn't get one, she won't come to the Christmas celebration, which is adding to the drama. The brother Dax can be very controlling, and most of the time, we just let him have his way because it's easier than dealing with the tension if he doesn't. He tends to make everyone uncomfortable if things aren't exactly how he wants them. My mom also isn't thrilled about doing White Elephant because of what happened last year. She and my grandmother booked a holiday home in Salem for Christmas. Okay, cool.
That
With my
sounds
mom
nice.
covering about 90% of the cost and grandma pitching in around 10%. But then my brothers ended up getting our grandma a gift to thank her while giving nothing to our mom, who had covered most of the expenses. To make it worse, Dax and Leaf both get their mother in law's expensive gifts, but didn't even think to get our mom something small. My mom isn't materialistic at all. She'd be happy with just a thank you card, but that's part of why she's not on board for White Elephant this year. For me, I'd rather skip getting a gift altogether than end up with something I don't want. So this year, I've decided to focus on gifts for my partner. It's her second Christmas with us, and her family doesn't celebrate, as well as gifts for my mom, stepdad, grandmother, and all the nieces and nephews. At the end of the day, we all just want to find middle ground that works for everyone. We're hoping Dax can feel satisfied too, but we'll see. I'll keep you updated on any compromises or what ends up happening in December. Okay, there's more, but I think we should give this person
Yeah.
advice first.
So I might get some of the I'm gonna call them characters. I might get some of the characters wrong, regarding like like how they're related. But did it say if this was a girl or a guy?
No,
Okay.
wait. I'm sorry. Yes, 22 male. So
Okay.
he's got two brothers. His first brother is Leaf, and his second brother is Dax. Dax is the one that wants to do the white elephant.
Okay. So I understand I understand why they might want to do the white elephant if like things were like tight with money, because even though Dax might not be tight, maybe someone else is and they don't want to make them feel bad. but I also understand wanting to get them something more personal because at this point, like, you're just buying something neutral, you're not buying something for someone. So, if anything, I feel like instead of White Elephant, Secret Santa could have been better because now you know who you're gonna give the gift to and it could be more personal. And, um, I understand why they wouldn't want to be a part of it. Um, and the edit part, I feel like that's where I got a little confused because then it involved like mother-in-law and stuff
Mhm.
like that. The only thing I did get from that, not the only thing, but the main thing I got from that was how they were getting their mother-in-law's gifts and not their mom, which that's like very messed up. I don't see how that can just like be okay for them. But I don't know. I feel like this family just needs to get like a tradition figured out. And, maybe say like, "Okay, I wanna get all of you a gift." It might be, like, small, but it's gonna be a personal, and if you can't, then you can't, you know? So, I don't know, I guess just kinda work around that because, for example, like, my family, it got to the point where like, obviously, growing up, you're not satisfied with, like, a toy anymore. It's more like things that you need or tend to
Mhm.
be more expensive. So then we kind of came into an agreement like let's just not get any gifts, which like is like damn, but it's whatever. But then we always end up getting someone a gift. And then sometimes we get one family member a gift and not the other, so it just felt like odd.
That's confusing.
Yeah, it felt odd and like I'm not even going to get into like who gets who what cuz but um yeah, and I don't know. Christmas is kind of confusing with our family. I always try to get my mom something. Um she literally asked me like what do you need and she showed me some options and I'm like, "Ooh, this one's kind of nice, you know?" So I know I'm going to get something and she doesn't know what she's going to get. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like having like a system, like a tradition set is a good way of, like, going about it, and maybe before someone just deciding, because like, whether
Mhm.
Dax throws little temper tantrums, okay, like, he's not 4, I'm sorry, but
He must because they're all scared to, like, tell him no, which is crazy. How y'all not gonna tell this man no?
I'm like, "What, is he gonna stomp his foot on the ground?" Like,
No,
that's
for
that's
real.
insane. And but yeah, I feel like before just letting someone take charge of whatever they want to decide for the whole family, maybe discuss it as a family first and then decide like, okay, I feel like this is a good tradition or something like that. But I'm sorry, the reason why maybe that family keeps on getting into, you know, situations like that is because of Dax, since apparently it's not uncommon for him to do that.
Yeah, I think you're so right, like, about the mom gift thing, like, if you I forget White Elephant, like, they just need to all put in for a really expensive something for the mom because it sounds like she's really the one, like, needing a gift.
Yeah.
And White Elephant, again, like, I could see how that does really feel impersonal and corporate. Like, I think it's I don't know. I don't my family personally, we didn't do, like, games, but I've known families to, like, wrap like the Saran wrap thing where it's like a ball and you, like, undo a roll of Saran wrap and you get, like, a little gift or whatever. But usually you have to have a really big family for that, and, it seems like they've kinda split off, like, Leaf has his own family and Dax has his own family.
Mhm.
So, there's no need, like, if you're not gonna have a giant Christmas, why have a white elephant, you know? I don't know. Personal thought.
Yeah.
So, in the recap, he says, "The family vibes have been shaken. Brother Dax suggested we do White Elephant for Christmas, exchanging instead of exchanging individual gifts. This idea was not well received. There's a family group chat with all of the wives, the mom, the stepdad, the grandmother, the stepsisters, And his partner, Maeve, I want to say Maeve, Maeve, 23 female, who isn't in the chat but is very relevant in the story. Dax announced this idea like a dictator, issuing a decree and not like, hey, thoughts. So he was making this demand in this group chat. So a few days ago, Grandma told us that Dax had something important to share. Turns out it was him rehearsing the white elephant plan, complete with rules, and not like, what do you guys think? More like, this is what we're doing, no discussion. Here's the thing about Dax. He's a control freak. Last year, he strong-armed us into Secret Santa, which most of us hated and didn't challenge because you don't mess with Dax. This year, I decided to grow a spine and said, hey, this isn't fun for most of us. White elephant feels corporate and joyless, and it's not what Christmas means to our family. I even suggested sticking to Secret Santa if the issue was cost. Apparently, this was blasphemy. The fallout. Not long after, Mom called me in tears and she admitted the white elephant idea made her feel awful. Yeah, I could see that. She
Mhm.
said it hurts that her sons didn't want to buy her a Christmas gift anymore, especially when she does so much for everyone. She then went full mom mode in the group chat. One, she said she doesn't like the white elephant idea because she loves personal gift giving. And two, she directly asked Megan and Blair's stepsisters if they plan to skip individual gifts for their own family too. And both Megan and Blair said, oh no, we'll still get individual gifts for our families. Cue Mom's second call to me, angrier and sadder. She feels like she's being treated as a second class family member by her sons, who all put effort into gifts for their in laws, but can't be bothered for her. And honestly, she has a point. My brothers either buy her a last minute junk gift or either forget entirely. That's kind of crazy to me. Because it sounds like Dax just wants to put in effort for his own like new family and wants to just blow off. Like that's what it sounds like to me
Yeah.
in this situation.
I feel like he personally doesn't even wanna do white elephant. I feel like he just wants to spend the $50. It's on the whole family because technically it's like you only have to buy one gift and then spend a bigger portion of his money on his new family.
Which is
Which the
crazy.
fact that you have to come up with the plan like that is insane to me.
It really is because it doesn't like giving a thoughtful gift doesn't mean it has to cost. So, Maeve and the stepsisters join the rebellion. I called, oh my gosh, her name is so hard to say. I'm just going to call her M. I called M to vent, and she was fuming, and she's been budgeting over $300 to get thoughtful gifts for everyone. This is the first Christmas with my family and wants to make a good impression. She said if she's going to do White Elephant, it's a waste. Her gifts won't even go to the right people. Meanwhile, my sisters Eddie and Tatum jumped in to say they also hate the White Elephant idea. So, like, the whole family is
Yeah.
rebelling at this point. Eddie even called it lazy on Dax's part. I think he's a hero. Dax, feeling the most heat, proposed a vote. White Elephant or Secret Santa. They don't want to do either, bro. By this point, though, I was done. I dropped out entirely, and so did Eddie, Tatum, M, Mom, Stepdad, and Grandma. But enter Blair, the plot twist queen. Stepsister. Blair chimed in with a new idea. Since so many people are dropping out, let's do gifts for the kids. She framed it like a compromise, but really it was her way of shutting down the adults entirely. Dax, Leaf, and Megan jumped on board, and Dax declared Christmas is only for kids. Okay, sure, Dax. Where things stand. So now it's chaos. Mom, M, Eddie, Tatum, and I have decided we'll exchange gifts with each other, and we're still getting presents for the kids because they're innocent in all of this. But Dax, Leaf, Megan, and Blair, they're getting absolutely nothing from us. Christmas plans are totally up in the air, and honestly, this whole thing has killed the holiday vibe for me. It's a mess. And it's not the resolution I wanted. At least I know who's on Team Christmas Spirits. And final thoughts. If Christmas is just for kids now, then Dax, Leaf, Megan, and Blair can go get all can go be kids together. Meanwhile, I'll be over here with my mom, stepsisters, and Em celebrating with love, laughter, and thoughtful ideas. So, yeah, not the happy Christmas update, but there it is. Thoughts? Am I the a hole? And also, do you have any tips for surviving awkward family Christmas dinners? It would be much appreciated. Oh, and there's an update.
Oh,
Holy freaking crap. My brother might be in debt. I probably would have guessed that. I'm at work right now, so sorry for the grammar mistakes. I'm usually typing on my phone and heading back to my desk, but yeah. So Dax finally came clean to my mom about why he's been pushing the whole Secret Santa thing last year and this white elephant thing this year. Turns out he's drowning in debt. Apparently, Dax and his wife Megan have been spending like they're loaded. Family vacations, high end crap, you name it. They've almost maxed out their credit cards and trying to live like they've been. They're trying to live like they're in the Real Housewives. Um, but now they're up to their eyeballs in debt. And Dax admitted to my mom that he's dealing with some heavy PTSD and he's going to start therapy because he's lost and doesn't know what to do. My mom told him straight up that he's got to quit blowing money like that and walk away from this stupid deal on the new house that they're trying to buy. But Dax, being Dax, he's not listening. He's terrified. Um, he's terrified that his friends and coworkers are going to judge him if he doesn't keep up the whole rich guy act. Like, dude, nobody cares. But egos are wild, huh? Look, I feel bad for my brother, I really do, but at the same time, how do you spend money like it's Monopoly cash and not think it's going to catch up to you? Still, I wish I could catch him. I can't keep financially. I don't make much, but I can at least help him with Megan and the kids, so maybe they figure this mess out. As for Christmas, I tried to be petty. I thought about only buying gifts for the family members, not doing this white elephant nonsense. Plus my nieces and nephews, jeez. But my guilt kicked in, and I ended up buying something for Dax, Megan, Leaf, and Blair too. I know they're probably not going to get me anything, but whatever. Christmas isn't about presents anyways. I just hope Dax wakes up and learns to stop spending money he doesn't have. But I can't say that to him, you know? Younger brother and all that. Yes, you can. Anyways, holy crap, if there's another update, I'll post. And there is no update yet, but wow.
I I like how they said that Christmas isn't about presents, yet this whole thing was about presents. Um, but going back, I don't even know how many updates there were, but there was a part where they were like, we just decided to kind of do our own thing and not think about Dax and Blair and whoever else. And I'm like, that's what y'all should have done from the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. I mean,
Agreed.
first of all, you don't even have to tell him because you don't owe him an explanation regarding that. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad they did it because that's literally what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, just don't include him. And the whole debt thing, that is sad but kind of funny. I'm sorry. Um, and yeah, at this point, it's like he is asking for advice just to, I don't know, I guess feel some kind of comfort, but he still ends up doing whatever he wants. So it was nice that this person, I'm sorry, I forgot if it's a guy or a girl. I think it was a guy. This guy, ended up getting them some gifts. So yeah, that was like one of the longest Reddit stories I've ever heard.
I appreciate the details. I do. I wish there was like screenshots of this family drama, to be honest. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. They just should have done their own thing. I feel like um the adults want to be kids. I don't know. I just think it was really unnecessary. I think he just could have privately told his mother what was going on. Um I don't understand the whole like, oh, if your coworkers or whatever judge you, like I don't keep people like that around. But I'm sure it's really hard to like go from being really rich or like living really rich and then like not being able to afford um a $50 white elephant gift,
Yeah.
just crazy. But he should have just told him what was up. Like, to be honest, all of it was like unnecessary. And now like nothing is ever going to be the same. Like they're not going to have the same family Christmases, which is sad.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
I feel like they try to blame it on the kids too, like, "Ooh, it's the kids." Like, no, it's not.
yeah. I'm still glad that they were able to find like their own kind of like happiness by doing something with them and not just letting it. Well, I'm especially happy that they didn't settle for whatever Dax's idea was. Um, so I'm glad they put like their foot down on that, and they still got to have like their own little like Christmas, even though most of the family wasn't included. But I'm sure it turned out better than what would have happened with White Elephant. So
I feel for him a little bit just because, when your family gets huge like that and feeling like you have to afford a gift for every single person is kind of a burden.
yeah.
But at the same time, there's definitely like a better way to handle that. I really didn't like the, commanding,
Hmm.
I can't afford it, so all of you are going to have to do what I want to do. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So the inmate hopper, her name is Ashley Trevino. And I started hearing about her like a couple months ago, maybe towards the beginning of this year. I just remember my cousin like sending me some like TikToks about her, and I really didn't care much about it. Like I knew that her nickname was the inmate hopper, but like that was it. So as time passed by, I started seeing her more and more and more, and I start hearing things about her where I'm just
Wait,
like that.
did she give herself this nickname?
No, not that
Okay,
I know of. I think someone
okay,
just gave it to her because I don't know why anyone would give themselves that name, but yeah.
okay.
Um, yeah. So I started seeing more and more things about her, which I'm just like, that's crazy. And then I just keep scrolling, and then but I just kept hearing things, and one of those things was she started seeing this guy. His name is Jesse. And by the way, if I get anything wrong, like I didn't research her, it's just from like all the stuff that I've been hearing about her. So I could have some things like not super exact. She was talking to this guy named Jesse, and she like held him down, her words, held him down while he was in jail. She was like sending him money. They were, like talking while he was in jail. She literally drove to like go pick him up, and then they spent some time like in a hotel room. And she has two daughters. I forgot to mention that. She has two daughters. And one of them is like 14, 13, maybe 15. The other one's younger, around 12, I think. So, I mean, they're like young teenagers. And apparently their father was also in jail, and she had been dating just like after they got divorced, she had been dating inmates. She said on a live, because she goes on live a lot, that she has dated or talked to or like, you know, 26 inmates. 26. From that point, I don't know if there's been more, but 26. And there's a lot of stuff like from there that like a little time gap that's kind of like irrelevant. But the next biggest thing that like is just crazy is that one of the most recent inmates that she was talking to, people ended up finding out what he did that got him in jail. And the way that these people found, or her viewers found out, because
Mhm.
she goes on TikTok live to battle. So she like battles other content creators, and she tends to like say a lot to make her seem like, yeah, I'm like dating an inmate. I identify with the women who have like husbands in jail and whatever. And a lot of like women who actually have husbands in jail are like, we do not claim her. Like she's
No,
like a different breed. Like, yeah. But she goes on TikTok live, and during TikTok live, there's this one like app or website where that's where you like get the calls from the inmates, and you can even like video call them. So she would do that on live, which is apparently illegal, and the inmates would talk to the followers saying like, "Hey guys, my name is blah blah blah. Hope y'all having a good day, stuff like that, so that's illegal or like that's not allowed with the app or website that they communicate with. So people ended up finding out what the guy did. I can't remember his name. And apparently he killed two girls that are around the same age as her daughters. And one of the girls that he killed has the same name as one of her daughters. And she would go on live and she would kind of mock the the whole situation. She like people were saying like in the comments, people were like, "Rip to the girls, like I feel so bad for the family." And there's a clip where she's laughing and she's like, "Babe, they're literally saying R.I.P. to the victims," and she's just laughing.
Oh,
Um,
somebody needs to call CPS.
yeah. So you also see her. Oh, and there was a time I think not too long ago. Her daughters weren't living with her; they were living with her mom. With Ashley's mom. So it wasn't until recent that the daughter started living with the mom again, but it's been months since the daughters have moved in, and in the lives you have seen that they are sleeping on air mattresses, and, everybody was like, "How are you buying designer bags? How are you buying this? How are you sending money to inmates and you don't even have a bed for your daughters? You don't even have a dining," because there was a whole thing about a dining table. You can't buy a dining table for your daughters, blah, 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 blah. So you could tell what was her priority, and it was not her daughters. And in the lives, you also see that she goes out to like bars, she gets drunk, she just not a good role model. And she also started talking to something happened with the guy that she was talking to, then, you know, I haven't heard about him or that she's talking to him for some time now. So but the fact that what he did didn't bother her and it didn't phase her, like, everybody's like, "You should be feeling it more personally or taking it more personally knowing that one of the girls that he killed has the same name as your daughter and is around the same age." That just didn't she didn't care about that. And then, uh, she also started like, her daughters started, like, it's somehow someone found out that her daughters, like, watch the mom's Ashley's lives.
Well, of course they do.
Yeah. And on the lives, like, this woman has, like, no self-respect for her because she's constantly flirting with, like, any man that gives her attention. Um, and there was this one guy named Eli that was on live. He was also well, he's an ex-inmate too. Um, and though what he did, because again, people ended up finding out, what he did was break his stepdaughter or daughters, I think it's daughters, break his daughter's femur. Um, and then in a live, he was like, "Guys, like, it just runs in our family that we have really, like, fragile bones and
Mm,
whatnot." And,
no.
people are like, "We're not buying that." Like, that like, you can shut up because 'cause we're not listening to that. And oops, sorry. And now, which this happened on Tuesday or Monday, I think. She started going on live with this she started going on live with this content creator. Do you know Shawty Bay?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Shawty Bay is like she doesn't really matter, but she's very famous in like a comedic kind of like they make fun of her way. So a lot of people hang out around Shawty Bay even though they don't like her or really care for her, but they just know that they would get like an audience or clout.
Right.
So this guy named Santos started talking, or I think Shawty Bay and him were kind of like a thing, and then they stopped talking. So then Santos, like I guess trying to figure out how to get a bigger following or get noticed, he started talking to Ashley on live. Mind you, she's 35, he is 22.
Yeah, he's doing it just to get clout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this live, he was oh sorry. Uh in this live, a lot happened in this live because I don't watch their lives, I just see clips of it. In this live, so much happened because she's almost always drinking on her lives. number 1. 2, she's always flirting on her lives. And 3, she just is insanely delusional to actually believe that they are interested in her or they like her or there might be something. Everyone in the comments is like, I feel so sorry for her, like how does she not see this? And she's like, I can get a man, like I'm up here, you're down here, stuff like that. So I really think she believes that she is all that. But anyways, on live, she was like, "Hey Santos, look what I'm charging." And then she holds it like this. It's her rose toy. She shows her rose toy. This is my lip gloss. She shows her rose toy. And then he starts saying like, "Oh, you're going to use that, or you're going to do this, do that." Mind you, her daughters are still watching.
For those of you in the audience, a rose toy is a sexy
Oh,
time toy.
sorry.
If you
Uh,
don't know, because
yeah.
yeah,
So then
wow.
uh at some point she, is acknowledging like, "Yes, Santos is 22. I'm 35. Like we know each other's age. I have seen his you know what and he has seen my you know what." Her daughter comes in and she says, "You're saying things you're not supposed to. You need to get off live soon." And
Wow.
she mutes her live. And you don't see the daughter, you see like half her face cuz she's turned towards her daughter, but you can just see like if you're like a lip reader, you're pretty good. Like you can tell like the mom is cussing at the girl, and I'm sure she's mad that she like said that in the live. But like I don't blame the daughter. Like if I was a daughter,
No.
I'd literally like call someone like pick me up because I'm so mad right now. Um, and then this was when Ashley was drunk on live. Santos kept like I guess like saying like show me something or kind of like insinuating that he was like wanting something from her. So she started playing with her breasts on live, like she was wearing like a shirt and bra, but you could see the bra. And then she pulled the bra down to where you can see her like nipple.
Oh my
And
god.
um,
It's just getting
then
better.
yeah, so then Santos is saying like, "Oh, like I'm gonna fly you out, like I want to like spend the weekend with you, like I'm gonna get you this, I'm gonna get you that." And then after Santos and her got off live, she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with Santos to spend the weekend with him in LA. I might spend my birthday over there. So not with your daughters, but with a 22-year-old man who you just met and not even met, like talked to on live." Um and people at first were kind of like clowning her, but now I've been seeing TikTok videos of people like genuinely being concerned, not for Ashley, because Ashley's grown and she knows what's right and what's wrong,
With
but
the
for the
kid.
daughter, yeah, the kids. Um, and expressing how like if you don't have any kids and you do this, like it still looks ridiculous, but at least you don't have anyone, you know, that you are literally hurting,
Mhm.
because this is hurting them mentally, emotionally, and these kids go to school. Ashley Trevino is like pretty, like I know not everyone knows her, but like Ashley Trevino is pretty big to the point where like I'm sure some of her classmates know it or know her. And now they're like, "Yeah, I saw your mom's live last night. Like she literally showed her boobs." I I would leave school. I don't know. That to me is just. Let
That
me
would
Did
be
you look up a picture? I can show you a picture of her. Well, we'll put up a picture on here too, just in case y'all do not.
I have a lot of thoughts. Is that it? Like, is that where we are now?
That's where I am at with the whole thing. So,
The first thing I wanna say is that guy, was it one of her boyfriends, about the femur.
mhm.
The femur is the hardest bone in your body to break. It is the strongest bone in your body. It's stronger than concrete. Like, you need serious trauma to break a bone like that. So that is highly concerning. Like, these people that she seems to be convening with are dangerous, obviously. They're not just like your run-of-the-mill drug dealer, which honestly probably would be better in this situation, which is crazy. Um, about Ashley, it seems to me like she probably had some sort of trauma in her life, like relationship wise, to make her want to seek these types of relationships. It's usually women who feel abandoned that seek these types of relationships because it's men who are confined. They can't go anywhere, they can't leave you. And women see that as security sometimes, and it doesn't matter what they did to get in there. But dating people who have killed children close to children that you have, like in age, that is delulu as hell. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know what mental illness that is, but that's honestly so disgusting. And I think that CPS should be involved. Because you can't even emancipate yourself until you're 16, depending on the state that you live in. So they literally can't get away from this woman. And it seems like they just want to live their life and go to school and tell her to stop acting a fool. Like, going on her lives telling her to knock it off is honestly like such a cry for help. You know, they're having to parent themselves, so their 35-year-old mom is like acting like this and
Mhm.
being judged. And like, I think you're right, like the social stigma that they probably get at school, maybe even being like asked for similar things, oh, if mom will do it, then you'll do it, like I could
Yeah.
totally see it going that way, and that's like not okay at all. I want to know why the grandmother, if the kids were staying with the grandmother, obviously the mother has like not been stable enough for her to be with them. Like, how did she regain custody of them? Especially when she's doing these very public things. Why are the kids not back with the grandmother? Like, I want to know those things because it seems like their home life now is terrible. So how was she before, like when the kids weren't there?
So, the way that she has worded it whenever she does talk about this is it's not like she lost custody, is that she just asked it, I guess, as a favor, like, "Hey, can you please, like,
Mm,
take care of my daughters?" So it's not like it's a legal thing. I think Ashley was just, like, lazy and not taking responsibility over her kids. So
why didn't she just
that's
leave them? Like, they'd be better off. Like, she could do her partying and inmate hopping without them in the picture. Like, I don't understand why she wants to subject them to all of that and sleeping on air mattresses, you know?
yeah. So, okay, if I feel like I'm talking very, like, maybe this or if that, but this is just, like, genuinely what I think. I started hearing about her kids a little bit after she started gaining followers on
Mhm.
TikTok. So I don't when people, I guess, realize that she has kids and they don't live with her, people are like, "Why don't they live with you? Like, you're being a bad mom." I think it was then that
Mm,
she took them back to maybe, like, help her status
I
or help how
see.
people view her in their eyes. Because on a live, I forgot to mention this, on a live, she said, like, "I'm getting my kids beds for Christmas," like, a actual, like, furniture, and, she was like, "'Cause, the I know y'all have been asking, like, why are they sleeping on the floor? Like, what kind of mom are you?" And I didn't wanna buy them, an actual bed unless I knew they were gonna, like, stay with me, and they recently told me that they're gonna be staying with me. So, yeah, I'm gonna get them that for Christmas. And I'm like, "Number 1, you should have beds for them whether they wanna stay with you for 1 night, 1 week, 1 month." Like, there's no reason, especially if you can afford it because she's buying designer stuff, that there's no reason why you can't have a bed for them to not sleep on the floor like dogs.
Mhm.
And number 2, that makes me think that the kids were, like, recently or maybe a couple months ago started staying with her because, I mean, if they were with her since I first heard about her, which was, like, towards the beginning of this year, I'm sure the kids would have, like, been like, "Yeah, we're staying," or "No, we're not," you know? So I think
She's sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. So I think the kids, like, being more in her life is, like, a kind of a recent thing.
She's obviously profiting off of, like, the attention that she's getting doing this type of dating. I mean, the least she could do is spend a fraction of that money and get them some mattresses on layaway, like, that's not I'm sorry, but, like, that's pretty bare minimum. Christmas should be for, like, gifts, you know, like clothing or something that they need, not the bare essentials so they don't have to sleep on your floor while you're earning money doing this heinous crap. Like, I don't
Yeah.
to me, that's not enough, and I feel really bad. I feel really bad for those girls. Like, I know being that age is hard enough, and having a mother that is like that is I just can't imagine.
And, people recently found I don't yeah, well, people ended up finding the daughter's TikTok, which she doesn't have anything posted on there or a picture, but, like, she has gone on live, like, the daughter has gone on live with the women that Ashley, her mother, does not get along with. And I saw a video where, like, because the names are Tampa Bay, Hefa, and Brittany. Those 3 girl or women, like, content creators do not like Ashley, and they, like, have beef with her. But they were on live with the daughter, and they were treating Ashley's daughter more like a daughter than, what how Ashley has treated her. And
It's really
it y
sad.
y like, some people were saying, like, "Oh, they're just doing this to get back at Ashley," like, they just wanna get Ashley mad, but if you look at the videos, like, they're asking her, like, "How is she doing? What is she up to? Like, did you eat?" They even try to, cause like, when it's all, like, 4 lives, it's, like, 2 screens up here, 2 screens out here, they try to make, like, the little, like, heart where you go like that and stuff like that. Um, so that was really sad. A lot of people are like, I feel like she feels safer or she feels like she can talk to them more than she can talk to her own mom.
She didn't have
Uh,
a mom or a dad.
yeah. And the abandonment thing, like, you know how you said women with trauma or, like, some kind of background? I think Ashley's mom and Ashley's dad are still together, and she has shown pictures of her with them that look like they're pretty recent. So as far as I know, I think that the family is still, like, together, but I
It's
mean,
more
I'm
like
sure.
her personal relationships.
Mhm.
Like, so the dad is in jail. I wonder if around that time, if that is what triggered this type of behavior, because it's not normal. Like, it's definitely not normal to date inmates, especially not ones that do heinous stuff,
Mhm.
like egregious things. Like, I personally believe that if you commit murder, like murder of children especially, I don't think you should be able to talk to anyone, period, the rest of your life. Maybe that's inhuman of me, but I don't think you should be able to have online relationships with women with girls that age, like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't know what prison this is, where this is happening, but they're obviously not doing their job because that is just awful. And if you know about it, they should know about it.
Well, so, there's this one girl called sorry. Out of the 3 women I mentioned, I said Hefa. It's not Hefa, it's this lady called Ash Updates, which made a TikTok account basically, like, exposing Ashley on, like, "She's talking to this guy, she's doing this, look what she did, look what she said," which a lot of people, like, especially Ash, is like, "You're obsessed with me, like, you're this, you're that." And Ash Updates, like, she didn't really care, she was like, "Okay, I technically have more followers than you on TikTok right now, so I don't really care." Um, but I think it was Ash Updates or someone that it doesn't like Ashley and is, like, against what she does, ended up emailing either that prison or the company of, like, the website where they communicate with the prisoners or the inmates, and in the email is like, this person uses your website or your app to communicate with prisoners, but she's doing it on live where the prisoner is talking to the people or like answering questions. The Ashley has been showing the inmate when they video call to the like the viewers, and Ashley actually got her account banned, but then she ended up borrowing someone else's account to continue the communication. So, as far as I know, like, the app or website or, like, kinda, like, they did their job when they found out, like, like, "Okay, that's not legal, so account banned." But, she kinda, like, found a way, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just like, okay, well, if we can restrict things for kids on smartphones, why can't we figure the prison thing out? Because I don't really think they should be doing any of that. Like phone
Yeah.
call, okay, but TikTok live saying hi to all your friends, kikiing in the you get food, you get a cot. Like I don't understand. Like it's not a punishment at that point to me.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. I don't think prisons are great, but there's obviously a reason that some of these people are there. And I'm not talking about like misdemeanor people or whatever like that. I'm talking about these serious people that she's like talking to who are breaking people's femurs.
Yeah.
Like, come on, really? And then she just like believes it. I don't know. It can't. It must be for the money. Like, it has to be for the money because I don't understand. Like, how could you be a mom of girls? How could you be a mother and then like date someone who takes that life away? Like, I don't. Are you human? I don't know.
There was also and this is where I was she said let me just get the name right, hold on, because 'cause I'm thinking of 2 Chris's. Okay. On live, she went on saying, like, she was going on live with someone else, and I guess they were talking about, like, what inmate she has been talking to, and she said, "I wanna send a letter to Chris Watts," which is
Yeah,
I'm guessing yeah.
yeah. I know
Um,
who Chris Watts is. He's a family annihilator who not only killed his family, but he killed his wife.
and she was pregnant, yeah.
And
Um,
there's so many girls that talk to him. Like, it's true. Like, there are people who talk to him, but, like, it's not like this. But it's still inexcusable. Like, I don't know. I have strong feelings about that. Like, that is just disgusting.
so, I mean, when she said that, I'm like, whether she was being serious or not, it definitely shouldn't have been something that she should be joking about in the first place, because I don't know, like, if I heard my mom say, like or doing that plus saying, like, she went to talk to Chris Kyle or not Chris see, that's the other Chris I was getting confused with. That's the American Sniper guy.
Yeah.
Um, Chris Watts, in my head, I'm like, "She doesn't care about me. She does not care." Because I'm sure if things would have worked out with the other guy who killed those 2 girls, like, I'm 100% sure Ashley would have allowed him being around her daughters, or left her daughters to be with him.
Mhm.
One of those 2.
I mean, it's not even, like, just the moral thing of, like, is this okay to bring around my daughters? No. But am I going to physically put my daughters in danger? My reckless behavior? Because I guarantee you, if she's really living this life, like, if this is genuinely what she's interested in, she's not just dating prisoners. Like, there's no way. She's gotta be dating people in her personal life too that are also dangerous,
Mhm.
and that's, like, I don't know, very concerning. Like, she's not I don't know. If she was inviting these people into her house, it's one thing, but I just don't know what they could do for the daughters at this point. I don't know because no like actual physical crime has been committed, obviously, even though I mean, I guess she could get charged for illegally contacting inmates. But good luck, you know. It's just really
Yeah.
sad. It's really sad because the girls can't emancipate themselves. They're just trying to live their life. They've got no one to speak for them, and they have no parents. So
One
that's
of
really
her I know she has multiple TikTok accounts just in case one of them gets banned. After she did, like, expose her, breast on TikTok, like, that account did get banned. I think, like, not long after that happened. So,
to
yeah.
me, it's like banning is like a non-consequence, you know? Like, "Oh, your account gets banned." Like, what does that mean? I guess people would be upset about that, but, like, me personally, like, that's not a punishment, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think you could punish her for that, to be honest, but I feel like something needs to be done here. That's crazy because I thought it was gonna be, like, a fun little story about this girl that was just, like,
Oh,
messing
no.
with these inmates, but, like, oh my god. That is quite an issue.
Yeah,
And it
oh, sorry.
but it's so crazy that TikTok, like, allows this. Like, okay, you ban her one account, like, ban her, you know? I know you can make a new email or whatever, but, like, I'm sure they have some sort of face technology being at TikTok, like, ban her forever.
So, the only reason I would see TikTok not wanting to do that, which I'm like, I agree if you say, like, well, TikTok needs to put, like, morality first over money, but since she does go on lives, there are gifts that like, if
Mhm.
I was viewing and I was gonna send her a gift on TikTok, there are some that cost up to, like, 300 and something dollars, like,
Yeah,
actual dollars, and let's say I send her the one that's $300, she gets maybe 75, 100, and then TikTok gets the rest.
right,
So, with that happening and her battling, I almost every night, like, TikTok
right,
gets a good amount of, like I guess it's, like, pocket change for TikTok with compared to what they usually make, but
right.
still.
Obviously, the shaming is working to some degree because now she's gonna get her kids mattresses, which to me is like, you know, you're
Mhm.
making all this money battling on TikTok, like, the least you could do is get your kids somewhere to to sleep. Um, so maybe people should shame her more. I don't know. Don't do anything crazy, but yeah, the shaming is working a little bit, obviously. I'm gonna have to look her up because that is crazy.
She lives in Ennis.
Texas?
Yeah, yeah. People have found her address because she literally gave it out on TikTok Live saying, like, because Tampa Bay was one of the ones that they don't get along, she was like, "Hey, Tampa, come to Ennis, my address is blah, 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 blah." Tampa went, like, Tampa flew to Ennis, was, like, banging on the door. She, was like, "Where you at now?" Where her both of her daughters and one of their daughter's friends one of the daughter's friends was, like, in there. So then Ashley was there's, like she was on live when she found out that Tampa Bay was outside, and she ended up calling the cops, and then, like, Tampa Bay didn't get arrested, but, like, she did have to, like, they put her in the cop car to get her out of there. Um, but then now that people found out her address, they're, like, constantly, uh, driving through and, like, honking, which I understand if you're, like, wanting to annoy Ashley, but her daughters are still there. So
Wow. You know, the worst part about knowing that piece of information is that, those police officers do not care, and they're not gonna do anything to help the girls. Not at all. And that explains a lot because that part of Texas, um, not the greatest. The people not the greatest either. So, wow, that's really close to home, and honestly, that's, like Wow.
Yeah.
You're 35 and basically live nowhere.
I think
Get it
I
together.
think she said that she is moving somewhere still in Texas. But I know so much about this lady, it's insane. Her aunt lives in El Paso, I think, and she was staying with her for some time, so she might move over there and what?
You know, Ennis is a small town, like small town mindset. And to be honest, they probably like I'm finna look it up, but there's honestly probably Facebook groups about this woman. Like locally. Yeah, I'm so serious. Like everybody's in everybody's business there. Like it's yeah. I would not be surprised.
Yeah. But that was just a short but long, I guess, summary of the inmate hopper, which hopefully her career will come to like
Is she
a quick.
blonde?
Yeah, she has like really thick
Is she,
eyeliner in a bad way. I'll show you a picture. Um,
well she's pretty though. Like why do
it's
this
this
to yourself?
her?
Oh no.
Yeah, when you look up Ashley Trevino, there's other pictures of other women. Um,
Okay.
it's this. I swear I'm not trying to look for bad pictures. That's just the only pictures that they have. So
On Facebook. Um yeah. They're talking about how Tampa Bay was outside knocking on the doors and windows and the cops were called on her. Like they're literally talking about all of that. So the community is aware. That's not surprising that she wants to move because if one person knows in Ennis, everyone knows.
yeah,
That's a crazy story. Well, wow. Thank you, April, for ruining my evening with that one.
I feel like your
Wow.
phone just heard me talk about that, so it's gonna start pulling up Ashley Trevino stuff.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope you have a great holiday season and join us for the next one. Like and subscribe if you want to, and leave us a comment. We'd love to hear what you think about Ashley or our Christmas Am I the A-holes?
Bye.
I almost said Christmas A-holes.